layups. Now,
which shows me, Bob, that the coach is teaching a pattern and the girls are following it to the letter.
They're following it, and you have to pick up that the Norristown defense has been porous. They're giving up drives to the basket. Dara did it. Rouse just gave up a drive. Ashley picked up the foul. Our players are not consistently in position on that help side. And I've said this so many times this year, when a guard beats your player at the perimeter, the help side has to pick up. And you practice denying the ball getting into the paint or the blue area on this court. The help side players have the responsibility of getting to the spot to make the player make another play with the pass or to make it with a dribble. But so many times this year, a player, I mean, last week we saw with PW where Dara got beat in the backcourt at the foul line, went coast to coast, about 80 feet, and scored a layup, and nobody picked up on the help side. We just saw it again tonight. Rouse and Dara both got beat. Where is the greeting card to stop the player on the penetration? And that's
and the
court
trailing
awareness.
And the trailing player, Dara or Rouse, have got to run ahead of the dribbler rather than chase the dribbler.
I've said that. You don't run alongside. You don't run alongside. You're much faster without the dribble, without the ball. You know you can beat your player to a spot, so why chase her? Why piggyback? Why tail? Why mirror? Beat her to the spot and then greet her.
All right, we'll start the second period now with the Panthers enjoying a 6-point lead, 14-8 over the Eagles. Lamar Hinton will inbound for the Eagles. All right, here's Shamira Bass.
See, the pressure's bothering her, Joe. It is bothering her.
She walked.
It's
yep.
bothering her.
One thing I don't see tonight that I saw against Plymouth Whitemarsh, the Eagles are not as intense. They're not as focused. A 5-second violation thanks to the defensive pressure exerted by Dondria Ball-Myers and Courtney Blake. Eagles get a life. 14-8.
We're going to have to do more of that, Joe. We're down by 6. Start the second quarter. To notice, Ashley still is not touching the ball. Your go-to player inside is not touching the basketball.
Number 33, Bailey Irvin.
Ashley's down. She's looking. She had her. You've got to see it. That's the point. You have to see that window. Ashley had her sealed, and she didn't see it.
Quakertown in a 2-3, basically the same defense that Plymouth Whitemarsh used against Ashley. But she was able to shake loose from that defense.
Yes, and you're not going to tell me that the athletes on this court for Quakertown are as strong as what we saw with PW. They're not.
I'm not going to say that. That's right.
They're not. They're playing within the system, and it's almost like they're all clones. You don't see anybody stick out.
Right.
Come on, play tough, play tough. Come on, step it up. Step it up.
All right, here's a steal by Bateman. All right, Shamira Bass lost the ball to Bateman, and as Bateman was breaking for the basket, basically pulled her down.
Coaching point. You tell your guards not to cross over with really good defensive pressure. If you're going to cross over between the legs, not in front of yourself. She crossed over in front, and the girl got her hand and touched it.
All right, here's Gustafson. 14-8, the Panthers. Eagles look sluggish this evening.
That's at 5 days off, Joe.
Yep. There's that right-handed layup again from the left side. Kate Weissel.
We're really out of sync, Joe. And there's another steal, almost another steal, and that's that high dribble. Look at it, look at it.
Panthers have come to play. The coach before the game told me they're looking for that one win that's going to
And
Yeah,
this is something that they
over
would
the
feed
hump,
on.
right? Over the hump kind of a win.
Now, you know, you feel like you beat this to death. Ashley gets the ball, and what do you get out of it? Even though we don't get the score, she goes to the line, they pick up a foul, and she's shooting 2.
Yeah.
So she's touched it twice. 2 positive things have happened. Unfortunately, we have let 9 minutes expire.
Yep. Here's Ashley on the line.
O'Donnell missing the first 2.
Right, she threw up an air ball that time. That's going to happen. Here's Weissel, knocked it loose.
The key to Ashley O'Donnell's foul shot is her offhand is not riding the ball. She's shooting the ball with one hand. Now, all shots are going to be with one. However, it's the gap between the shooting hand and offhand, and it's huge. When you watch her again, if the camera focuses on it, her left hand leaves the ball so early that she's forcing herself to shoot it with one hand.
So it's a push and not a shot.
That's right.
A shot.
That offhand, what they call the offhand, should ride the ball until the last instant. The right hand, the shooting arm straightens out, what they call pole finish. The offhand almost straightens out. The gap between your shooting hand and offhand is roughly half the distance of a basketball.
Okay.
When you have the finish in front of you, the distance between the shooting hand and the off is half the distance of the ball because your index finger is at the needle.
And the offhand is the hand that basically guides the shot?
Yeah, we don't, that's a terminology thing. You don't say guide because you teach your players it's not the guide hand. That's a term that you and I were taught, and it's
right.
Incorrect because the guide hand doesn't take you anywhere. It actually rides the ball and it's on for a free ride. It doesn't shoot it. If you say guide, you get the intent. The idea is that it's pushing the ball or shooting, and it's not. It's strictly the right hand. The left hand just rides the basketball until right before the release, and then the right hand pulls the trigger. It's there to just make sure you have balance until you're ready to release it.
I understand. Amanda Nowicki with the rebound. 16-9. Eagles down 7.
Now let's see what we're doing on the offense end again. Still, they have a 16-9 lead, and they have not taken a perimeter shot. That's amazing, Joe. That is absolutely amazing. And that, on the defensive end, it is so much easier to cover when you have nobody looking perimeter, and they don't have a post player to looking into. It's strictly screens and baseline. That high dribble.
And that can be overcome by hustling through the screens and keeping with your man. All right, Norristown in the penalty box.
Yes, and I said that.
Yeah?
You've got to take advantage of that, but we're, I think, 1 out of 3 on the line so far.
Yes.
Ashley has missed 2, and we have 1 missed. Dara missed 1 prior to that, so we're 1 out of 4.
Making the first of a 1-1. Webbing for Norristown.
You see the difference. Bass is sitting the bench again, and how well she played against PW. It was a different type of defense.
Mm-hmm.
That game allowed the perimeter shots. This team is playing man and getting away with it.
All right, here's a deep rebound picked up by the sophomore Jenna Bateman, who is now running the point with Gustafson down in the right corner.
See it? Baseline again. You don't have to worry about the player taking a perimeter shot. You guard the drive to the basket. See? And she threw that.
A good Norristown defense. Norristown can narrow it to 4.
I'd like to see, now this is an opportunity. All right, they're going to put a player back. You won't have the baseball pass, but push it up. Push it up the court. It's person to person, push it up. Joe, you teach your guards that when you see the zone pressure, you don't put the ball on the floor, pass it, diagonally opposite. When you see man pressure, tell your guard to put it on the floor and everybody else run and clear out. Let her run with it, let her go with it. Put the pressure on the defense. And there's a case, if Dara just takes it and goes, use different speeds in the gearbox, go between your legs, go behind your back, but push the ball up court. Don't play with it. You have the entire court to play with. Use it.
Nice move. Knocked away by Norristown. She got an easy, clear path to the basket.
Again.
Carroll to the game.
All right, Carroll into the
Lamara's
game.
hurting.
Lamara's, yeah, she's favoring one of those legs. Yeah,
Yep,
she's going into the training area.
Yep.
Here's Weissel. Blocking foul, Ballmeyer.
We've now gone 11 minutes, and they have not taken a perimeter shot.
Look how they're lined up there, Bob. 4 right across the baseline.
Yeah. Now let's see where it goes. Cross screen. Okay. You don't worry about anybody taking a perimeter shot.
All right.
Good. Ashley goes to the line again.
Foul Gufferson for second, team 10.
You know what I don't see the girls wear, Bob? Mouth guard, teeth guards. I thought that's one of those things that PIAA might consider making mandatory. I know they're making face masks for field hockey mandatory, I understand.
Yes, but you know, quite frankly, I think I have 1 or 2 girls in all the years I coached wear mouth guard. They don't like to wear it. They don't like it. And I can't tell you that I've seen many injuries at the mouth with basketball. On the women's side, I just haven't seen it. That might be a good thing for them to do, but you know, the girls are really fussy with that stuff. They're protective of the mouth, but field hockey definitely, because they know that's clean out their teeth with one of those. But basketball, you just don't see many of those injuries. 16-11, Joe, and we have 11 points for almost 12 minutes of basketball. And we're in a 2-shot situation for the last 4 minutes and change.
There's Bateman underneath.
Cut. Dara got beat again.
Quick shot. Nice pass. Offensive foul, Dara Webb. Lost control.
Foul Webb, reverse.
Now, we just don't get beat here long. Let's see what we're doing. There it is. There it is. And Dara got beat again. Joe, I mean, I know we'd have strokes. We'd have a collective stroke. Because when you've been playing this and you realize that when you're going to put a person-to-person pressure on that, you are vulnerable to the baseball pass. They did a cross screen and got it. But Dara got beat.
Bateman is cool and as calm as you can be. It's nothing but cotton on both free throws.
I would rather see, Joe, if we're going to man-to-man pressure, keep someone at the half court and you discourage any pass. And I don't think that player putting pressure on the ball does enough, because that was a baseball pass with a player on the ball.
Yeah.
She still got it. I think we've gone away from our game plan so much.
Amanda Nowicki draws her first personal foul. Eagles shooting 2.
Ashley still has 2 field goals?
She only has 1 field goal.
1 field goal, 4 points,
yeah.
Right? 3 points.
Webb making the first, 2 shots. Bass is back into the game.
See, Bass is really struggling. She's like, she has that look like
deer in the headlights.
Right. I'm trying to figure this out. You know, it's kind of tough when you turn the ball over a couple times.
Here's Weissel up high. Looks inside. Won't put the ball on the floor.
Okay.
from the left corner.
That's the first perimeter shot, and you see why they don't shoot perimeter shots.
Yep.
You get the feeling that Dara is trying to make something happen. She's going to the basket. She's taking the shots. We have not found a lineup that's productive yet. And Dandria's played, Courtney's played, Lamara's played. He's played 3 players off the bench, and we still haven't found a lineup that's working.
Not only for this game, Bob, but for the entire season. Coach Webster has been experimenting with various combinations, and here we are in late January, and he still hasn't come up. And it's not his fault. He still hasn't come up with that solid 5.
Well, and you would like to have it at this point, win or lose. You'd like to have that 5 that are consistent.
All right, here's a rebound by Nowicki on an air ball. Here comes Bateman. 3.5 minutes left to play in the first half. Up 6 are the Panthers, giving Norristown all they can handle. They work it inside. Wild hook shot. Scramble for the ball. Picked up by Rouse.
We still have an opportunity, Joe, to tie this game.
There she goes again. Dara Webb, with the ethos of a kamikaze pilot, these last 4 possessions, she's simply putting her head down and going.
Right. The downside to that is she hasn't made a count. She hasn't been productive. Somebody from Quakertown's picking up fouls, but you have to finish off. There's one.
There's one.
The first of 2.
All right, here's Irvin back in the game. Bailey Irvin. Dara Webb trying to complete a 2-point play and does not. Irvin with the rebound. Dara twisted her ankle.
She got beat. Fortunately, they have trouble making layups.
Stop and pop, way short. Bateman with the rebound. Panthers up 5. Eagles have got to come to life here in the last 2 minutes of the first half. Uncontested layup, number 25, that's Sarah Bryan. She got loose with that offense. In a way, Bob, it's fun to watch. It's intricate, it's tricky, and they run it so well. It's sort of like, to make a football analogy, it's sort of like watching the Delaware Wing T.
Well, I'm just puzzled. I'm really puzzled that we haven't picked up on what they're doing, that they have no perimeter players, and if that's the way they're going to do it, then pack everybody in, don't give them a drive, and do a better job of contesting the passing lanes. And on the offensive end, I'm really concerned. 14 points. We have 14 minutes have expired in the first half. We have 14 points. Nobody has stepped up. Ashley isn't touching the ball.
They're scoring a point a minute. They could end up with 32 points at this pace. And that's not going to win this game.
No, it's not. Not with Quakertown with 20 at the half.
Here's a pass inside to Irvin. She draws a foul. I believe Rouse over the top.
Joe, and you can keep picking, but that play starts with your point guard. When they say your point guard is the first line of attack, it's also the first line of defense. And you need to make the point guard bringing the ball up. If you're going to play person to person, sweat. Every dribble has to be a contested dribble. You want to make her go east and west, and God bless, she's not allowed to have an uncontested passing lane. And you control that by how you play that position.
All right, number 32, Amanda Nowicki. Ashley O'Donnell's putting a lot of people in foul trouble.
Well, when she touches it, but
that's
I said to you
Quakertown.
that 32's your weak link, and 32's back out on the court playing Ashley, and you got to go for it.
That's Quakertown's 13th foul of the half.
Let's see if you can focus on her offhand, Joe.
I was doing it on that shot. You're right. She takes her left hand away from the ball well before its release. Yep.
See the gap? See how conspicuous it is? It's even more pronounced when you're looking from the side. If you're looking from the front, it's not as large. From the side, it looks huge. It's an important 1:33, Joe. We're down by 4.
Constant motion by the Panthers on that Connecticut flex offense.
Uh-oh, technical foul.
All right, there's a T on Coach Webster. All right, you don't want to put this young lady on the foul line, Jenna Bateman. All right, it's the Panthers' ball.
He'll get another one if he doesn't watch it.
All right, referee Bill Carter makes a nice suggestion, splits everybody up, tells everybody to calm down.
Well, now, see, you just gave up a point. It's 21-16. You gave up possession, right? It's just...
And made it that much more unlikely for him to get a call later on in the game.
I've just never been an advocate, and I know some coaches. I don't know. I don't think Coach is using it to fire up his players. He's truly lost as to what he said or did, and we of course can't tell that from where we are. But sometimes it works. I don't see it as working with this team, and that's not something you certainly planned. Uncontested layup. We play follow the leader. We're great at following the leader.
Christine Kime made a complete circle and dropped in a layup from the left side with her right hand. Panthers by 5, 40 seconds left to play.
Now, we don't want to give up a field goal with 30 seconds left, Joe. It's 23-18. You don't want to foul. Both teams are in a bonus. She
stepped on the line. Yeah. Big possession for the Eagles.
Very big possession. Cut it to 3 or 4.
Ten seconds left to play in the first half. They get it into Ashley. Drops in a layup. Big basket. And those are the kind of baskets we've come to expect from Ashley O'Donnell. The big baskets, the clutch baskets, narrowing the gap to 3 as the first half ends with Quakertown leading the Eagles 23-20. If you could summarize the first half for Norristown in one word: defense, or lack of same.
Unimpressive. And I say unimpressive because both ends of the court, we haven't done what we did last week successfully, get the ball into Ashley. And when she does touch it, good things happen. That is stopped. The missed foul shots, not following the game plan. Ashley is the strongest player on the court. Both teams inside. She has to touch the ball. If it's 15, 20 times, it doesn't matter. She's got to touch it. And it's obvious that Quakertown's going to commit fouls, so you keep going inside, and they won't have players that'll be on the court by the time you're finished.
All right.
That's part of it offensively. What about what you said defensively? We continue to play revolving door defense. We don't understand help side. We don't understand stopping the point of attack by putting the player, making her give up the dribble. What about hands? Now let's see in the second half, Joe, if we see defensive players hands up in the passing lanes. Are we trying to shrink the passing lanes? Are we talking on the screens and cuts? And let's focus on it in the second half. Let's see what we're not doing defensively. And maybe when the girls review the tape, it keeps reflecting what we've been echoing game after game. You've got to talk on defense. You've got to know where the cuts are. And they've had one perimeter shot in this game, Joe.
That's all, and they missed it.
And they